You've got a press-up test to pass, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Getting a lot of questions about press video I did quite recently. I had a go doing the press-ups the Royal Marines do. They have a press-up test where basically it's a bit different than normal press-ups. It's a little bit harder, and you've got to have your elbows in at the side, your hands in this sort of position, pushing out to a beep. Now the beep makes it more challenging. I don't know if anyone of you have had a go. Give it a try. See my last video. Tip number one for improving your press-ups is quite simply you need to practice them. Okay, you need to be able to be confident in that position, be comfortable in that position, getting the repetitions out. And the way we're doing it for this test is, like I said earlier, elbows in till they touch the side, and you fully extend the arms and lowering your chest down to the floor about that height off the floor. Okay, so about your fist height off the floor. Practice it that way. Practice the full range of motion, because otherwise, when you come to do the test, you're not going to be able to do it. Okay, so get that full range of motion from the start. I imagine most of you have been doing them sort of out like this, little half repetitions as well. That's how a lot of people do press-ups to begin with. Get that out of your head. Forget about that. Do these full range of motion press-ups with the elbows in. Get used to doing that, because it will make it a lot easier for you on the actual day. So practice them regularly. I would say, maybe not every day, at least 4 times a week doing them. Do at least 3 or 4 sets and try and increase the repetitions every week. So if you may start off doing sets of 10, 4 sets of 10 in your workout, maybe after your run, maybe after your cardio, 4 sets of 10. Next week, 4 sets of 12, and so on. Okay, you need to be constantly improving. It's called progressive overload, and that's how your body adapts. Tip number 2. Okay, when you're doing these press-ups, your whole body needs to be solid like a plank. Okay, you're pivoting at the heel. So with that in mind, focus on engaging your core, squeezing your abs, squeezing your glutes, keeping everything tight. The more you practice this, the more you do it, it'll become sort of like an unconscious thing. You'll be doing it without actually thinking about it. Like when I do the press-ups now, my body's rock hard. I'm already doing that. That's because years ago I started doing it, so I consciously imagining my body to be solid like a plank of wood, rock solid, rock hard. Okay, that'll help keep your core braced. Okay, and keep your core tight. It'll also actually help you increase your pushing power. So the only thing that's actually moving is your arms, your shoulder joints, your elbow joints, and your shoulder joints. Bang, bang. The rest of your body is pivoting. It's at the heel like that, and you're just going up and down, up and down, up and down. You'll watch some people who don't have this technique, they don't have the core strength, and they'll be pivoting at the hip and doing all sorts of things, which you can get away with in a circuit. But when you're doing this test that we're talking about, you won't get away with it. Okay, that'll be a fail. It's not a proper press-up. All right. Number 3. My third tip for this press-up test is more of a mental thing. It's imagining sort of what you're doing, thinking about what you're doing with the movement. We're not thinking, well, I don't think about moving my body up and down. I'm not thinking about that. Okay, you practice your technique, so you're doing your press-ups. Obviously, get your technique squared away first. Film yourself doing it, get a friend to watch you doing it, to make sure you're doing the technique properly. Okay, so once that technique's at home and you're happy with it and you can do it without, you can basically close your eyes, jump into the press position, and then you get somebody to take a photo of you and you're in the perfect position every time. Okay, once you're at that stage and you've got the sort of the muscle memory to get into that position, then you start thinking about what we're talking about now. Okay, so when you're training, when you're doing the press-ups, particularly in the test, when you're banging them up and down like that, bang, bang, don't think about pushing you do press-ups, don't think about doing press-ups. All I think about, bang, is I'm extending my arms, and I'm bending my arms. I'm extending my arms, and I'm bending my arms, okay? Doing that, think about what the muscles are doing, think about the triceps. You've got your tricep there, it's pushing forward, okay, it's extending like that. When you're extending that arm, you're bending your arm and you're extending your arm, you'll be doing your press up, you'll be pressing your body up and down, okay? I find that I get a lot more strength and I can do it for a lot longer when I do it that way. I'm not practice that, it's visualization. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger used to call it, I think, the mind-muscle connection. Whatever you want to call it, it works, alright? So practice it, and the more you practice it, it'll become second nature. So you can go into this test whenever it is, and you can pass it, okay? And that is, as a pretty much a fourth tip now, it's the mental game as well. It's going in there with the confidence, and you're saying to yourself, when the test stops at 60, going to yourself and saying, I'm going to get 60, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep doing, extending my arms, I'm going to keep bending my arms until I get to 60. You'll pass that test.